Good morning, family. How are all of you holding up under all this tension in the world? I don't believe that a lot of people realize how dangerous this situation is right now. Yes, what Russia's doing is horrible. But people need to understand that there are young men that have been trying their best over there to protest ever since this war began. But in Russia, when they protest, they're beaten, arrested, shot at, and forced into the armed forces. The older women, grandmas, are pulled off of bus stops and arrested for absolutely nothing. I saw a video, as most of you probably did, of two young ladies crossing the street and they were arrested. There was a woman that they took into custody into a van, and you could hear blood-curdling screams coming from inside. Yes, Russia, well, at least Vladimir Putin, I don't know why he did this, but I do not believe that people understand the severity of the situation that we are facing right now. If NATO would have stayed out of this, Putin and Zelensky would have had to both come together and come up with an agreement. It would have been over. People, I don't like the way that Zelensky keeps on and keeps on. The things that he says enrage Putin. And it's done deliberately. He's not innocent in the bloodshed either, people. All he had to do after this whole war started was to agree not to join NATO. That's all they were asking, and he wouldn't do it. He's getting all this equipment from NATO members, and he thinks he is something big. This needs to stop. People, do you understand? They're pushing Putin into a corner. All these threats of using nuclear bombs are not aimed at Ukraine. They're aimed at the United States of America. And in his speech, he calls us a threat to their motherland. If Zelensky doesn't get to the negotiating table and work out something with Putin, the entire world is going to suffer because of this. All he had to do was stay neutral. That's it. That's all it was the last time they came to the negotiating table, and he would not do it. This could have all been over. All the lives that's been lost since then because of arrogance and pride. I don't think he's a hero. I think he's putting the entire world at risk for World War III. Our lives will be lost. The United States will be bombed by this madman in Russia. All the lives that are being lost today are because they won't come to the negotiating table. There's too much pride going around. Well, I don't want to lose my family in a nuclear blast because Zelensky won't come to the negotiating table. It has to stop. Once a nuclear bomb goes off, there's no turning back, people. Don't you understand this? I've seen all the people sitting there, they're just, yay, yay, Zelensky. They're like he's some kind of superhero. I've seen him ranting about Israel not giving him weapons. I don't think anyone should have given him weapons. This would have been over and lives would have been saved. They would have had to come to some sort of a compromise. And now look, the whole world is holding their breath. The whole world is terrified that in the middle of the night, a nuke will go off. Lives will be lost because of all this pride on both sides they don't want to give. They need to get their backsides to the negotiating table and think about other lives being saved besides pride. Think about it, people. If you remember, all he had to do was agree not to join NATO, which NATO wasn't going to accept him anyway, and to stay neutral, and everything would have ended. But he wouldn't even do that. And now he demands more weapons, demands more money. Heck, people, we've got people starving to death on the streets here in America. While our money's being sent over there, grandmas and grandpas, the elderly can't even afford to eat and put gas in their cars. Young families can't afford to buy formula and diapers for their children. And we're sending all of the money over there just to continue this war that needs to stop. I'm telling you, people, if it doesn't stop, Putin will not hesitate to use that because he feels like he's cornered by the entire world. Please pray. Don't encourage this man to continue this. Too many lives have been lost. Putin and Zelensky need to get their butts to the negotiating table, and they need to do it now, and they both need to make compromises. This war must stop before China gets in on it. And Iran. People, you don't realize how serious this is. You really don't. God bless you.